Tonight on Newswatch 18, we get an update on the case of a Huxley mother that allegedly murdered her children.
We'll also find out what President Obama meant by lower tuition.
And we find which sex is better at parking. All this and more on this edition of Newswatch 18. Good evening and welcome to the January 31st edition of Newswatch 18. I'm David Geiger.
And I'm Jane Morrison.
After 2 weeks of being held in Story County Jail, Jennifer Burkle has pled not guilty. The Huxley mother previously admitted to killing her twin newborn daughters shortly after their birth. Burkle was originally arrested on January 13th on 2 counts of first-degree murder. She's being held in the Story County Jail on $1 million bail.
The author of Who's Afraid of Post-Blackness is visiting campus. Touré is an NBC correspondent, a contributing editor of Rolling Stone, and is the host of 2 shows on Fuse. He will be discussing the meaning of being black in today's society this Thursday. In researching his book, Touré has had interviews with hundreds of prominent members of the black community, including Jesse Jackson, Cornel West, and Malcolm Gladwell. Students are invited to join Touré at the Great Hall in the Memorial Union at 8 p.m.
A 2-step approach to becoming debt-free has been released by Tim Griesdorn, an ISU assistant professor and family finance specialist. Step 1 is to control discretionary spending through the use of cash, and Step 2 says to treat your non-monthly expenses as a monthly bill. Griesdorn also said that planning ahead is a necessity for successful budgeting. A free online course is available through ISU Extension and Outreach, and entitled Take Control of Your Money.
ISU Assistant Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Ali Plantis, and one of his doctoral students, Yanni Lee, are developing computer modeling technology designed to show engineers how to create new electric motor shapes that will increase power generation. Ali Plantis says that the goal is to get more power out of the same size motor or the same power out of a smaller motor. The National Science Foundation's Faculty Early Career Development Program is supporting them with a 5-year grant for $400,000.
Students who see criminal, unethical, or unsafe behavior may now make anonymous reports. Iowa State recently made a contract with a third-party hotline vendor, Ethics Point, to further the security of Iowa State. Students may seek advice from the hotlines or report incidences they see dangerous. They are also assured confidentiality through using this hotline. Students wishing to report something can do so online by calling the toll-free number 866-384-4277.
President Barack Obama claimed new ideas to lower tuition in the United States during the State of the Union address last Friday. In an effort to stop skyrocketing tuition prices, President Obama said to colleges, quote, "If you can't stop tuition from going up, the funding you get from taxpayers will go down." Along with this new concept, President Obama suggested new subsidization to student jobs. This is in response to the ever-growing tuition rates, which has grown between 6 and 8% a year for the past decade.
As students living in the digital era, every morning we wake up to answering emails, text messages, and updating our social media accounts. Jake Riley, a student at the Chicago Portfolio School, decided to deactivate all of these for 90 days by participating in the Amish project from October to December of last year. During the project, he found other ways to communicate, such as chalk messages on driveways and a bulletin board, which replaced the Facebook wall. As a result, he lost contacts with some friends, but became closer to others.
Former presidential candidate Michelle Bachmann raised more than $1.5 million in the last 3 months of 2011 and finished the year with almost $400,000 in the bank. Bachmann ranked in 35,000 contributors from 25,000 contributors. The average donation totaled about $50. The campaign also reported nearly $450,000 in outstanding obligations. The Federal Election Commission has stated that Bachmann can legally transfer funds from her presidential bid to her congressional re-election campaign.
The Obama campaign has officially released a report to the Federal Election Commission that it raised $70 million from 60,000 donors in the fourth quarter of 2011. According to an Obama campaign official, the Obama campaign is trying to use the announcements of their donors to draw a contrast with the Republicans in the race. A campaign told CNN that they, quote, voluntarily disclosed their donors, unlike the Republicans candidates running in 2012. According to the campaign, 200,000 of the fourth quarter donors are new to the campaign since 2008. The average contribution was $55, while 98% of contributions were $250 or less.
Did you know that women are better at poking than men? 2,500 people were recently tested for a month in a British study. The study showed that women are slower at poking by an average of 5 seconds. But to be fair, the British drive on the opposite side of the road.
Well, Allison, I hear that there's some exciting news in the sports world.
That's right, David. We'll have highlights from this weekend coming up. Don't touch that dial. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Allison Merkley with your Cyclone Sports Update. After the big win against Kansas on Saturday, the boys basketball team plays tonight at 8 p.m. at Hilton Coliseum against Kansas State. The Wildcats' record is 15-5 overall and 4-4 in the Big 12. Iowa State has lost the last 5 consecutive games against K-State at Hilton. The last time they beat them was in 2006. Currently, the Cyclones are ranked 4 in the Big 12, and this win will put them 2 games ahead of Kansas State. With the help of Hilton Magic tonight, the Cyclones will pull off this win and then will head to Oklahoma for their next game this Saturday. Girls Cyclone guard Nikki Moody has been named Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Freshman of the Week for the 3rd time this season. For the season, she has 84 assists and only needs 25 more to hold Iowa State's freshman record, which is held by Lindsay Metters in 2004. Iowa State takes on Oklahoma State on Wednesday night here in Ames at 7 p.m. Iowa State gymnast Michelle Browning was named Big 12 Conference Gymnast of the Week for the 2nd time this season. Browning played a large role in the win over number 23 Iowa on Friday night, placing first in all-around, bars, and floor. She also placed 2nd on both vault and beam. This is the 7th time she has received this honor throughout her career at Iowa State. Todd Sturdy was just named Iowa State's football wide receiver coach. He is an Iowa State native and was the head coach at St. Ambrose University, where he attended college, and was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Washington State. During his 2011 season at Washington State, they were ranked 9th nationally in offense. The Cyclones are excited to see what Sturdy will bring to the team next season. That's all I have for sports. Let's throw it over to the weather desk.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm meteorologist Sam Scherer, bringing you your next segment of Iowa weather for Newswatch 18. Let's jump right into a very interesting forecast, at least towards the end of the week. Not so much for this week. We got a beautiful night ahead of us right now, 40 degrees outside, partially cloudy skies, a light northwest wind, 8 to 10 miles per hour. It is fantastic out. You can see some of those stars. That cloud deck slowly starting to part off as we head into the night. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the rest of the day is going to look like into tomorrow. But my clicker's having just a little bit of trouble, and I'm having trouble advancing. A little bit of new technology. And there it goes for me. Sorry, we're just getting around to this new stuff. We finally have a clicker back again. Midnight tonight, we're looking at 35 degrees. Again, partially cloudy skies. Tomorrow morning, 32 degrees, just at freezing tomorrow morning. So it could be slick if there's a little water on the roads from any remaining melting snow. And 49 degrees, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now let's go ahead and take a look at, if I can get this darn thing to keep advancing for me, my next graphic, which is going to be a look at what the state's going to be like and all those different places in the states. But we are having a little bit of technical issues, so I'm just going to tell you that it is in the 30s, dropping to the 30s into the tomorrow morning, and we're going to be seeing around 50 degrees throughout this week into Friday, however. Now, Friday is going to be kind of an interesting thing we're going to keep an eye on. Possibility of a large snowstorm Friday night into Saturday, so that's something we're going to keep an eye on, though. It could slow down just before it gets to Iowa. So you know what, that's it for what, oh, there it goes. But it's too late, and now I'm going to send it back to the desk with Matt.
If you want to see Nick Offerman this week, you have until midnight to score free tickets from ISU TV. We're partnering with the Student Union Board and giving away tickets to see the Parks and Rec star at Stevens Auditorium Thursday on February 1st at 8 p.m. All you have to do is follow ISU TV on Twitter and on Facebook and tell us what our next slogan should be. We'll update you tomorrow, so be sure to keep it right here on Channel 18.
It may be the end of January, but it felt like the start of spring in Ames today. Students took in the nice weather by studying outside and relaxing on Central Campus. Ames saw record highs yesterday, and the temperature is supposed to reach the 50s for the next 3 days. Break out the shorts and t-shirts and make sure you get out and enjoy this rare weather as we head into February.
And that's all we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18. Thank you for joining us.
Tune in tomorrow night at 8 for more news, weather, and sports. Have a good night.